We are now almost 1/3 of the way through our trip. We've been cycling the last 5 days pretty much solidly from Uppsala, just north of Stockholm, to Mora, which is as far north as we're going to go.
Cycling long distances during the day, then editing and uploading footage, finding people to interview. It's been quite exhausting and challenging.
On an upside though, this has given us a bit of time to reflect on some of the things we've seen, some of the people we've spoken to, and some of the issues that they have raised. Swedish culture really does seem to promote greater income and gender equality. For example, a girl I met in Uppsala, she was genuinely shocked when I told her I'd never seen a female builder or road worker before I'd come to Sweden. Is the Swedish attitude historical, or can any country change their attitude?
I think this issue of culture is really important. Can equality only be explained through a country's culture? And if that is true, then what kind of change are we talking about? Are we talking generational, really long-term change? And if it's not just explained through culture, then what does explain it? And we tried to answer some of those questions in an interview with a professor of political science at Uppsala University. And hopefully that interview will give you a little bit more information about how Sweden got to where it is today.
My personal belief is that attitudes must be changed from a base level upwards. This means education, so that the next generation is inspired to look at things differently. I want to find out what came first. Was it the Swedish education, or was it the Swedish attitude?
Hopefully you've seen Kajsa Borgensson's interview. She's a prospective candidate for the upcoming elections for the Social Democratic Party. That might be very much the perspective of the left side of politics, and the book, The Spirit Level, which inspired this trip, was very much written to try and embrace the entire political spectrum. And there's a debate going on that you can follow in the newspapers and online in the UK at the moment about whether the Spirit Level is actually embracing that political spectrum, or whether it's still a ghetto of the left side of politics. The two key questions that have come up for me in the past 2 weeks are: can equality be sustained? And in Sweden at the moment, inequality is on the rise, the political situation is very different. And secondly, can inequality be reduced once it's reached a very high level? And that's obviously really important for us in the UK. So that's where we are in terms of thinking about Swedish equality, and here's a snapshot of the last 5 days of hard cycling which brought us here to this illustrious youth hostel in Mora.
Explain to us the last 2 days.
The last 2 days are best summed up by 2 words. Hills, 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 trees, 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 hills, 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 trees, trees.
And we had a really good day today. Did a lot of miles early on when we left Uppsala with the couch surfers, who are really cool. Steve's just sitting just over there, I don't know if you can see him, up on a rock, doing some editing of video because we turned up so early. Quite a lot of flies here, so I decided to get a little fire going. This, as they say, is what makes it worth it.
Hills, 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 trees, 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 hills, 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 trees, trees, trees.
And now we witness emerging from the trees the clean man. Yes, it is a rare sight on this trip. A man washed clean, but this is just such a species. Soap in hand, biodegradable, of course. Haken is now a new man, ladies and gentlemen, a new man. And his sleeping bag will certainly say thank you tonight.
A rare beast emerges from the forest. Only found in Sweden. Often shy. This is a very rare piece of footage.
Bike was on its own, lying on its side, and got puncture. The air just kind of started coming out. And now the brakes not working either.
This is the tiny village of Husby. Their gigantic church clock is wrong. Their school clock is also wrong. I think it's deserted.
Haken, why are you so happy?
Because a man gave me some carrots. They're purple, yellow and orange.
This is day 13, but I walked out into this forest just behind where we were camping. And
as you can see, all over the forest floor are these little bushes, and all these little bushes are actually filled with these berries. Tastes like a blueberry. So anyway, I'm going to pick a few and we can have them in our porridge. One thing I've noticed about Swedish people is they really like their lawns, but it means you meet a lot of people like this chap here who seem to spend their entire lives mowing their immaculate lawns. I mean, if I just get in close on this guy, you can just see what a tiny little mower he's using. Tell you what, gives you something to do when you're retired, eh? Tell the people of the internet what have we just spent £60 on.
A room for the night.
Nice! Let me in. Let me help you with the door. Is it made of IKEA?
Yeah.
Sweet.